Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video I am going to be doing a quick flip through of my 2020 one little word completed album. So today is actually the 31st of December 2020, and I have finished this album just in the nick of time. So let's quickly get this thing open and flip through so I can show you all of the good stuff inside. So I started out my album by totally scraplifting Allie and her intro page using all of the hearts, which I used some from the 2020 main kit, or it might have been one of the mini kits, and some hearts and pieces that I had from leftover from previous years. So that is how I created this title page. I added this progress over perfection rubber piece over on the left-hand side. And then we go ahead and get straight into January. So for each of my prompts, for each of the months, I should say, I always start this the same way. So I will always use one of these page protectors that has the two 3x4s at the top and then the 4x6 at the bottom. And then they will always have the month, which was on some clear acetate here, where the month is slipped in, and then I've got the wood piece on top of it, and then some kind of embellishment on top of that. So my word for 2020 was connect. I took a picture of the acrylic word that I had purchased and just had it with some like scenery, not even scenery, just some woods in the background. And that was the photo to start out my month with. One of the things I also do in my one little word albums is every single month I will include a selfie picture or some kind of picture of myself for that month. So I picked the picture that I took at the beginning of the year, wrote out my note to self, which you will also see is a repeated element throughout all of the months inside this album. And then I went ahead and did the first prompt, which was to fill in the different prompt cards. We have the reason why, the definition, a quote that I like that has something to do with my word connect, my note to self, what I wanted to invite this year, what I wanted to let go of this year, and then just some journaling for the year ahead and some intentions for 2020. So the first prompt is always the one that takes the most time and the most thought, I think, which I'm really looking forward to sitting down and filling all of this stuff in for my album for this current year, for 2021, which starts tomorrow, or technically when you see this video, it will be started today. Then we get into February's prompt. So for the remaining dividers here. So the first one I did as my intro. For all of the rest of them, I will have something in the middle. So some of them will have an acetate heart with some chipboard pieces, and some of them have like fabric patches, just all different kinds of things. I just like to have something to help decorate the dividers. I think it adds a little bit of element of fun to my page, and I like the way that it looks when you're looking down on it. So February, I threw in a quote here that I really liked. There's my February piece. And then here's my selfie for that month, which was one of the pictures I took for the Pieces of You or Pieces of Me photo prompt challenge that Allie did in February that year. I've also got a 3x4 photo of, I don't know if this is my whole, it's not. It's just a piece of my collage that I did in February, because February's prompt this year was to do a collage. There's my note to self. And then what I ended up doing, let me move this to the side, is I ended up taking a photo of my collage as a whole and then adding it into my book. So this is actually done on a piece of canvas, and I have it on my wall in my craft area, but I wanted it to be in my book too, just in case it ever like falls apart and whatnot. And also I think it's a good visual representation of my board for this particular year. So I made this flip out. This is a 6x8 roughly. It's a little bit bigger than that to be the size of the page protector. And then I believe that this portion is about a 3x8. Actually, it's 8 1/4. So something like that. Then I found a quote that I really liked by Maya Angelou and added that on here. And then I've got another photograph of myself on the back, just a full page photo. And that was February. For March, the prompt was to pick a pick a practice to do for 31 days. And the practice that I chose was to record things that each of my children said every day. So Jonah was just learning how to talk, so I was recording what word he said that day. And then Izzy, I would record a piece of a conversation or a statement that she made or something along those lines. So because I was doing something that was very like auditory based, I went back to an older kit, the Listen Story Kit, and pulled some cards from there. So that is where this 4x6 journaling card or filler card came from. There's March and a quote. And then on the back, it's also where this Sounds of Life Right Now card came from as well. I've got my note to self. And then for my prompt, I did check off the days that I completed my task, which it looks like I did all but 3 days, which is awesome. And then I did fill them in with multicolored inks just to match the colors of this card over here. Put a photo here that was just representative of what I did. And then I added in all of the things that my kids said into my album. So I've got a couple pages worth of Izzy with a picture of her. And then I've got a page about Jonah with a picture of him. On the back, I put in my reflections on this particular prompt, and then that completed my March prompt there. For April, the prompt was to do an I am statement or an I am journaling. So I did the same, this heart and the chipboard piece on the front. Again, I've got the 4x6 card. There's a photo of me because, you know, I like to have the photos in there, the April. And then on the back, I just put in some pattern paper with the I am chipboard piece because this was the I am prompt. I've got my note to self here. And then what I decided to do, because every week, this was a weekly prompt, so it was I am blank. I give myself permission to blank. I am learning blank, and I'm saying yes to blank. So I just added a half of a picture of me to each of these cards with the I am acrylic or not acrylic, acetate piece on top, and then did my journaling, and that was that month. For the month of May, I've just got a fabric patch here for progress over perfection. And this one was the photo prompt. So I've got through the lens with a piece of pattern paper here, the quote, which came in one of the mini kits, my note to self, another card from the mini kit. And then I've got 8 pictures here that represent visually my words showing up in my life for this particular month. This one, I just totally took Allie's idea again, added some journaling to the bottom, put a tiny phrase sticker on there, and then added one of those wood veneer cameras. And that was May. For June is like the check-in month. So I've got my fabric patch there again. For this one, I went into my stash and found a grid card. I found this wood veneer heart, and then I added this My Story journaling, or not journaling, My Story chipboard piece on top. The rest of it is the same as usual. This one, I just did a little decorative piece over here with hearts and this not easy but worth the time, my note to self, and then this was my check-in progress report. So all of the words that I needed to say, and I ended it with a picture of me with some embellishments down the side, which I really loved the way that turned out. For the month of July, this was the like mixed media, like messy type of prompt. So what I did is I, started this the same here. I played with watercolors. So I did a bunch of watercoloring, which you can see. Here's one with pinks, oranges, and yellows. And then I did one with green and blue and some purpley colors. And so I took an extra piece here, added a fabric patch to the beginning with the card that came in one of the mini kits. There's my note to self and my selfie. And then I took some small alphabet stamps and I stamped out quotes. So this is the first quote I chose and then the second quote I chose, both talking about connecting. For the month of August, I've got another fabric patch. This was from a mini kit, just says keep going. I've got a selfie picture of myself here, the August, my note to self on the front this time. And then on the back, I've got this card, the stories I'm telling myself, and that was the prompt. So I wanted to do something here to tie in the story I'm telling myself. So I did 4 of them. So I've got story 1, 2, 3, and 4. These were a template from the class itself, and then the stamping at the top was from one of the stamp sets that came, I believe, in the mini kit. And when I was doing this prompt from the previous month, whenever I stamped the letter, I stamped off onto a piece of white cardstock. So then I took that and I cut it down into a 4x6. So that's where this came from. I just made it myself and I think it looks really cool. So that is that one. So I do have the selfie. It's just in the front there. For the month of September, I started again with the heart and the, I keep wanting to call that a wood veneer, the chipboard piece there on the front. September's prompt was the one that was a spinner, where you would spin and land on something, and that would be your practice for the day. I actually, full disclosure, finished September through December during the month of December. So I did not really have time to do the whole spinner thing. So instead what I did is I went back to my September pictures, pulled out, a selfie or two, did my note to self here, and then I did the same idea, but instead of filling these out with things to do, I filled them out with things that I did do in order to have more of my word in my life for that particular month. So there's no spinner in this, it's just decorative. I think it turned out really pretty. And then I added a selfie picture on the back side with a chipboard heart and a phrase from the tear off phrases, which were in one of the kits, but they're from 2020. For October, I added the fabric patch. This was from those watercolors again. I just had some extra, so I added one here with the words I need to hear most. I've got the 4x6 from one of the mini kits. There's my selfie, my note to self. And this one was all about music. So it was finding lyrics that really resonated with you. So I've got 6 different ones. This is just totally, Allie did this. I just copied her to make it easy on myself. Again, I was doing all of these in December, so why not? But yeah, that's my 6 songs right there. Love that. That was actually a really fun prompt that I wasn't so sure about at the beginning, but now I really like this one. For November, we did the hello goodbye, or goodbye hello. So I added the star, which was just in my stash with this has been quite a year. Then I put in some transparency, like this is a transparency card, so there's nothing on the back. My note to self is on the front and my selfie photo is on the back, so that's my photo. And then this, again, I just totally copied Allie, printed this on vellum. That is my hello goodbye journaling with a couple more of those chipboard pieces, and called that a day. For December, which is, last but not least, we have our intro page here. And then this was not part of my watercoloring. This was just some runoff from when I was jelly plating one day, but I liked the colors and how it all went together. So I've got the card with final thoughts on this word. There's a couple of pictures here. This is from my birthday here at the end of December, my note to self, and then my facts, my feelings, and the things I want to remember about my word this year. So I'm super proud to have this thing done. This is my 2nd year doing One Little Word and my 2nd year completing my album before the year is done. For 2021, my plan is to document again in a 6x8 binder like this, to do exactly this again. And my word this year is embrace. So I am super excited to see what my word has in store for me in the year to come. I hope that you guys enjoyed this quick little walkthrough of the album. Maybe it gave you some ideas on what the One Little Word class is all about, the types of prompts that we do in the class. And if you are interested in being a part of One Little Word this year, the class registration is open. I will leave a link to that down in the description box for you in case you want to head over there and sign up. And super awesome is that I'm actually going to be a guest instructor this year. So my month, I believe, is going to be April. And I'm super excited to bring you guys some fun prompt work to do to help you connect with your word this year. So that is it for me for today. I would love a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button also so you can see all of the content I have coming your way in the future. If you are participating in One Little Word, tell me in the description box down below or in those comments down below what your word is for 2021. And until next time, I hope you guys will have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.